just gorgeous. Look at that big ass white tree in there. A lot of people are doing that nowadays. They're like, they're taking all the ornaments off of their trees and they're leaving them put up just for the winter. Um, I get a real tree, so I can't do it with my living room tree, but look how cute that is. I fucking hate Valentine's Day, but the heart's cute. I don't even know where I'm at right now, you guys. I've never been down this road. What road is this? I don't know. I just went down here because y'all, I saw lights and it pulled me that way. I got a phone call from Mrs. Kravitz. She lives in Arizona now, y'all, and she still messes up my life sometimes. I'm supposed to be on that street over there. So let's go back this way. Oh no, let's go this way so we can see it again. I love these lights over here. My goodness gracious. Anyways, Mrs. Kravitz called and I couldn't get my sound to work again. I don't know how to stop people from calling like on my phone. I don't know how to do it, like to make it automatically go to voicemail. Look how pretty that is, you guys. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love lights. I love it. Anyways, so now I'm gonna get a Diet Coke because my mouth is watering and or dry, should I say. And then we'll head out to C's house and maybe she's home. If she's not, I'll just leave this stuff on her doorstep. So the other thing is, I was talking about before I had to stop when I was picking up my medication, is there were pictures. I don't know if somebody got them off of the video or if we just didn't pay attention, but Maggie sent them to me today, and it looks like two different people because one of them, of course, doesn't have a backpack or the pew-pew on his belt, and also he looks like he's got a belly on him, like a beer belly, and the other guy is more cut, looks. So I did see that before Maggie had sent it to me. I saw it on the Facebook group page, but people were saying this is AI, it's not real. So I didn't pay it no mind. But then when Maggie sent it to me, and then I went to go look up the news and stuff like that, and the news is even reporting about these two pictures that the FBI now is saying, okay, here we go. Gotta go. Listen, the best Diet Coke, I'm a connoisseur, you guys. The best Diet Coke is McDonald's, and that's the only thing I would eat from this nasty ass joint right here. What do you guys think about the pictures? Is it two different people? I think it is. If they're real pictures, I haven't been able to like really get on and investigate about the pictures. But if you have, what do you think? Is it two different people? Remember when he went to the
Hi, will you be using the mobile app today?
No, thank you.
Okay, what can I get for you?
Can I please get a large Diet Coke with no ice?
Alright. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. 161.
Thank you. 161 for a Diet Coke. Oh my god. Hold on, yeah. Be a broke bitch. You ain't messing with no broke bitch. Well, I'm singing it nicely. That's not really the words. Hi, how are you?
Oh, your cheetah shirt. Good.
Thank you.
That just reminded me of an episode of SpongeBob. Well, it's called Not Normal, and he tells Squidward tells SpongeBob to be normal, so the next time he sees me, he's like, hi, how are you? It just reminded me of that. There we are, have a nice day.
You too. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about because I don't watch SpongeBob. But anyways, the pictures. When I go home, when I get home, I'm either gonna one of two things. Clean carpets and clean floors, or I'm gonna sit down at the computer and I'm gonna pull up everything. Hi, Dawn. I can't really see chat, you guys. I can see it right now because I'm getting me a Diet Coke because everybody needs a Diet Coke. Y'all, we got 1 like. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. He was up to no good. Don't know if it was after or before. Right, and then Maggie did tell me that, I don't know who she was listening to, but it was a retired something or other. And he said the FBI has to, at this point, release the video. They have to have video of her being brought out of that house. And I agree. That's all I'm screaming is, hi, lunch lady. Hello, everybody. Sorry I got kicked off. Just doing a drive live. You know, today is our 2nd anniversary of our channel. I purposely went live for the very first time on my oldest daughter's birthday because I never wanted to forget it. And I did forget it. Because we've been so invested in this case. And she came into chat last night, and everybody, I thank you guys for wishing her a happy early birthday. And she was the one that told us tomorrow's your anniversary of your channel. And we wouldn't have remembered it, you guys. Even though I specifically did that. But listen, if I didn't have my head screwed on through my spine, I'd lose it. Y'all, listen, Beefcake put on new rotors and new brakes, and one of these is squeaking. But I don't normally, I drive whatever he leaves at home for me to drive. That's going to come to an end really fast. I want my own freaking vehicle. That's what I want. I thought I had one. I thought this was my car. And then we moved out here to bumfuck and followed my son to college because that's what a really sad mother does, like me. And he took over my car because the truck takes too much gas. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Right on, Big Daddy. Thank you. Much appreciation. Anyways, this used to be my car, like my jam. Oh, don't you do that. My dogs would be in here with me and all that. Well, then Beefcake started driving it to work, you guys, and it's kind of a big deal. And he doesn't like my hair, the dog's hair, or any kind of other hair on his work clothes. I guess I'd feel the same way, maybe. I don't know. And so he's like, look, the truck, it's a lot more money to fill up the truck than it is to fill up your car. So I'm going to start using your car to drive to work, because he drives like anywhere from, depending on traffic, an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half to work every day. And I was like, that's cool. So then I thought, all right, well, Blondie's taking over the truck. I'm going to be this, I can handle it. I got this, I just have to pick up my dogs to put them in, which I practically have to do now because Anichka hates car rides. She pukes every time. But then I'll look out the window to see what, where the truck is, and the truck will be gone, and I'll go out to go smoke in the garage, and the car's in there, so I can't win for losing. Now, he never complains, but he's like, after he's driven the truck for a couple days, and then he drives the car he has to go and clean them out and all that, because he has to make sure the hair is out of them. Because I shed like a golden. And if my dogs are riding with me, you could guarantee there's hair all over the place. That's just the way it is. I am who I am. Whoop! How's Miss Lund? Okay, Honda's a great vehicle, routine maintenance. Well, Beefcake sent me this picture, and he said, yesterday, and he said, if you were me, which one of these would you pick? And I was like, okay. I knew what was coming through because he's been telling me for a year. He's like, look, we have to get a new car. And I was like, that makes no sense because we're still going to be putting miles on a new car until we move out of here. And so he listened to me for a while, but then he sent me pics yesterday, and I realized that he's sending me pictures of the same kind of car, just in different colors. And I was like, I wanted to make sure because I'm not a car person, right? So I mean, a lot of cars look the same to me. So I was like, hey, I said, are you just asking me about a color? Like what color I would pick? And he's like, yeah, it's the same car. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, it doesn't matter because I have a truck. I'm not driving your car, man, because I don't want to feel guilty about smoking. I want my own vehicle that I can smoke in and not feel guilty because my husband is a non-smoker. And then he's like, I feel bad because I feel like it gets in his clothes and then he'll smell like that at work. So at least I'm a conscientious smoker, and I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend him. He's not a smoker. He shouldn't have, So I'm just like, look, dude, like, figure out what car you're going to drive and give me mine because I don't want to feel guilty for smoking in my own fucking vehicle. And he's like, deal. And so I was like, I have a truck. I was like, so I don't care what color you get. You're just not allowed to have gray and you're not allowed to have silver. And it's because I Swanee. Every freaking car we've gotten over the last 10 years has always been gray or silver, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I said, I'll never own another one. I don't care how much money you're saving by buying that color. Don't. I'm sick of looking at them. Anyways, I can't see chat because I'm driving and I'm trying to be responsible. Thank you guys, whoever is here, thank you for being here. I know this is a boring live, but I wanted to touch base because I don't know. You did stop first, but if you want me to go, I don't know. Why don't people understand how to use four-way stops and roundabouts? How difficult is it? These are grown-ass people out here, y'all, that don't know how to use four-way stops and roundabouts. It drives me insane. It drives me insane. Anyways, thank you those that are hanging out, that are here. I am still very much, and so is Maggie, invested in this Nancy Guthrie thing. We do know the new things that have come out, whether we believe them to be true or not. We do know them. It's just that Maggie's dog has been sick since last night. She said that she got about 2 hours sleep, and it was better today, but it was throwing up bile. And she said if he's not better by tomorrow, they want her to bring him in to make sure he's not dehydrated, and to find out why he's throwing up, do some blood work and stuff. So y'all pray for our little Jessie, Maggie's little Jessie, and Maggie to get some sleep. I know we've been burning a lot of midnight oils. We've been doing long lives again. When we first started the channel, we easily did 8, 10, 12-hour lives every night. I think we all took, like, we could probably count on 2 hands for a year, unless something was wrong in the family or whatever. How many nights we took off. We were live almost every night for no less than 8 hours. No less. Unless I got a call and had to go out or something like that. And then in 10 months, we reached our goal. And then I was like, guys, we got to take a break. We got to quit going live every night. I wore the mods out. I wore poor Maggie out. I wore anybody out that would help me meet my goal. And I'm just so grateful that I had, I'm going to say women, because it's been these handful of women that came in first week I started. Well, Melly Joe, the top mod, has been here since day one. She was my very first mod. And she's never left. She's only taken off whenever when she goes and does her craft retreats. But everybody else, first week, were in here, and those women never left. It was like, we're going to get to 1,000 and we're going to be thankful, and that's going to be great. But I think I'm one of the only channels that I've ever heard of because of the lives we were doing. And it wasn't so much about hurrying and getting into 1,000. I never thought for 1 second that it was only going to take us 10 months to do it. And by the time we got to the 1,000, we already had the watch time hours. Usually people get their watch time hours in afterwards, after they reach their subs. But we were just having way too much fun at that shit. None of us were sleeping. I think everybody was getting 3 and 4 hours a night. It was crazy. Crazy. But that's what the first 10 months looked like. And I remember the live we were on when it was announced we just hit 1,000 subs. I'll never forget that because I couldn't believe it. I could not freaking believe it. It was during Christmas time last year. So I think we've all pretty much will taken a lot of time off this year. Or in 2025, I should say. I have plans, like this is the last month is really the first time that I've started making members only content. So I wanted to start that up and at least do one a week, whether it be a live or just a video. And then for 2 years, maybe a year, I've been kicking around the idea of starting up a whole new channel with a different name and a whole different thing. It would only be videos, and it would be cleaning and slow living and things that I like, lifestyle that I like. I have to get the courage to do that, even though I think it takes more courage to do lives than it does to do videos. I've done them all. I think this takes a lot of courage, a lot. And that's why most people don't like to come up on the panel, because it's scary the first time. I remember the first time I did it, God, I was scared to death. I can't read chat right now, you guys, but thank you all for being here. I appreciate it so much. I just wanted to touch base, see what you guys are doing, hang out with somebody while I'm driving, have a cigarette together. I'm fixing to have a cigarette in my fucking car that once was mine. I don't know whose it is anymore, but I need something relegated to... This has got my name on it. This car right here that I'm driving, I'm so adamant about it. Like, every vehicle that I've having, like how I usually get a vehicle is like one of my kids get tired of the vehicle, or Beefcake will want another car or something like that. So I'll drive the old car because I don't give a shit what I drive, y'all. I just want some heat and some air conditioner and a comfortable seat, maybe just one, and a place to put my babies in here, my dogs. I don't care what I drive. I don't care what it looks like. I just want it to run. So usually when I'm handed another car to drive, I'm like, and of course we have to switch out the names, you know, if it's my kids. But if Beefcake gives me a car, I'm like, go put my name on it. Like, let's go. Your name's not going to be on it, because I just want something to call my own. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and it probably doesn't make sense, and it probably sounds really, really shitty, but I share my kids. I share my husband. I share my dogs. I share my house. I share this. There's nothing in my life that belongs to just me. And so I was like, I want a car in my own name. That's all I ask for. That's it. And he's like, I don't think that's too much to ask for. So he always would take me down and put the car into my name and not his, not anybody else's on it. It was just only mine. And then I got my own bedroom. But, I mean, I cannot be the only woman. Where the hell is my cigarettes, y'all? I need an assistant with me at all times. Fuck me. I know I picked up. I mean, there's been 4 kids that have grown inside this. And then right now it's not dark enough to talk about the other stuff that's shared the body, you know? I'm gonna try to be PG. Looking for my fucking, y'all, this is the worst road. Oh, fuck me. Okay. This right here, this road, I'm not kidding you. Out of all the roads around Indianapolis, this one right here, y'all, nobody's business at all times. And it's not because of this town, it's because the next town up. I mean, their cops are so, it's nuts. And they get you. And so I always tell everybody, do not speed on that highway out there. Cigarettes, and that's going to upset me. I have a nervous breakdown in the car. Crash. I'm going to rage crash this car because I don't have cigarettes. Oh, wait, I got pockets. Ah! Right on, I got pockets. They were in my pockets. Oh, I love that when that happens. I wonder if a man ever feels like, I just want something for myself. I probably should ask the men in my life that, since I can't read chat. But I'm curious if a man ever feels like that. Like, I just want something that's my own. I don't know. But I don't think I'm the only woman that has that feeling. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't have it until after. Let me just say this, because you guys might not be able to hear me when the window's down. I didn't feel like that until after all of my kids had moved out, because there was always a car there that was one of theirs, or whoever's was the safest drive in the snow. We put the kids in that car. You know what I mean? So I didn't need. We just called them family vehicles, right? Like, the kids had their own vehicles, but they were on our insurance and stuff like that. But it wasn't a big deal. It was when they moved out and it was just me and Beefcake, and that's when I was like, okay, I want something of mine that has my name on it. That's it. That's all I ask for. I don't even own a debit card. I mean, that's by choice. That's not Beefcake. Listen, I'm not controlled in any way. I divorce that, but I choose not to have a debit card or a credit card. Don't deal in those things. I don't like them. I think they get you in trouble. I've never had one for all these years. I was like, if I need the card, I'll just get your card and go. But the problem with you giving me your card is, I can't tell you how many cards I've lost, y'all, and that's no lie. I'm terrible because I'm so scatterbrained, I feel like sometimes. I come out of the store, I don't know if I put it in my pocket, in my jeans pocket, in my sweater pocket, in the pocket of my purse, but I guarantee you I never put it back in my wallet, ever. It will never happen. I have lost more of his debit cards than I care to count. And I've only lost the checkbook one time in my life, but that's because it was my checkbook. You know what I mean? And I lost it one time in my life, and it wasn't even in this relationship. always so leery whenever he gives me his card, and I understand why. He's like, for the love of God, you know, can you? I am who I am. But what he did do was he had one of his cards, because I go out of town a lot. For those that don't know me that well, I go out of town a lot. My son owns a company, and he puts his mama to work, and I'm grateful. I love road trips. I get to go on road trips around our state to different states and stuff like that. I love it. And if I want to buy something extra, like I wanted to buy those 2 chairs that are in my living room, and I don't like asking my husband for money, because I've always worked. Even though I've never made a lot of money, I've always had my own money. So, and we've been married a long time, but I still am very careful with what I spend of his, that I feel like is his, because he earned it. So, I wanted to make some money so I could buy my living room chairs that I liked. And I called my boy. I was like, you got any work for your mama? And he's like, what are you looking for work for? And I told him. Y'all, he made sure to pay me extra so I could he looked up my chairs and made sure to pay me extra so that I could buy my chairs and have money. That's saved over. So that's what's good about working for your boy. You know what I mean? Like, he takes care of his mama. And he would just buy me the chair straight out. But that's not the point. I won't take advantage of my kids either. Especially, I would take advantage of my husband before I would my kids. I really would. I mean, he married me, for better or for worse. That's his problem. Not my kids' problem. Alright, we're going to roll down this window and smoke. Is Dawn leaving? I just looked down at lunch lady. I could see what she said. Bye, Dawn. Thank you for coming in. Sorry I'm such a bore tonight. Really sorry. I know this is boring, but I needed company. I promise I won't do it on the way back, y'all. I won't do it. I'll just listen to somebody else on my way back. Or I'll call Mrs. Kravitz. I'll call Mrs. Kravitz back. That's what I'll do. What y'all get into today? Not that I'll be able to reach out about it, but tell the chat what you got into. Well, these roads are terrible. This is what happens when you live in an area that gets a lot of ice and snow a lot. So this is for all you that don't live in the U.S. of A. I know you can't see that well, but this is what we would call a highway. It's not an interstate. Interstates are bigger and much, much faster. This is a highway. Can't see chat, you guys. It's too far away. Sorry. What I'll do, let me smoke real quick, and then, well, you won't be able to see much. I love it when Maggie does drives so that we can see England, for those of us that'll never get there and never been there. And Lizzo and her daughter Beth will do drives on their channel. And Maggie always asks me to do drives through here because she's just not used to this much open stretch of land. But nighttime you can't really see it. There's a lot of, America has a lot of untamed land still, you know. And I think England has it too. It's just not as, like, we'll just park a house out there on the prairie somewhere and drive for 20 miles to go to the grocery store. I mean, Americans are crazy when it comes to driving. It's something we're used to. Sometimes they don't have the store we want to go into in our particular little town, so we'll drive 5 towns over to get to it. And then if you're a thrifter like some of us, we're driving 5, 6 towns over just to get to a different Goodwill store. You feel me, dog? I mean, that's just the way it is in America. And it's getting worse and worse because the prices are just going so high on cost of living and buying houses and having houses, that to buy a house in like a city, I mean, you're paying some bucks. It's a lot cheaper to buy out in a rural area. And so that's what happens. That's what's happening. A lot of rural areas are making little towns. And people are moving out to that because the land is cheaper to build a house. And so they're driving further and further to work. But if you want to own a house, I mean, basically, that's what you're having to do. Unless you're just making the big bucks. Alright, I gotta roll down this way. I feel a little bit bad. If I could roll down this window a little bit so I could smoke. Sorry. Is that terrible? It might be terrible. I'll be quiet. Thank you for the 9 likes. I appreciate that so much. I'm in a much better mood than I have been all day. Yay. There is a, let me roll this up a little bit. There's, in this town right here in Anderson, I don't live in Anderson, so I don't mind telling you guys about it. In this town right here of Anderson, there is a huge casino here. For all you casino lovers, Diamond Lucidity, who also lives somewhere, I think we live pretty close together, because she said that she would come out here to the casino sometimes. And they also have horse racing out here. If that's your thing. It's not my thing. I feel very sad for horses that have to race, especially if they break their leg. Oh my God, it's terrible. about 90. He's just going to disappear into the night. I feel like I drive pokey. Now for all y'all, I'm going to get over this other lane. Hold on. For all y'all that like quick, Nestle Quick, right over there, you can't see it through the trees. Y'all could come here and get you a job. They're always hiring. I don't know if you could see the big bunny. You probably can't see it clear because it looks like my camera is dirty, like Maggie always tells me. It's always hiring, always. I haven't had Nestle Quick in a long time. That actually sounds pretty good. So this road, if you could take this road all the way into Indianapolis. From my house, it would take you about an hour to get to the city of Indianapolis. Right now, we're probably a good 30 minutes from the city. I don't think it's a pretty city. I guess if you turn on the lights, every city. We have a huge stadium because the Colts play there, Indianapolis Colts football. And when the Super Bowl was here, it was wonderful. We had a great time down there. Everybody was in town. All the stars were in town. You could not get a seat in any restaurant within miles of downtown Indy or a hotel. You had to really probably go 2 or 3 hours outside of Indianapolis to get a hotel when the Super Bowl was here. It was so fun though, you guys, going down there, and oh man, it was awesome. That's probably the best thing that I've ever been to since I've been in Indianapolis. Is the Super Bowl down there. And we had Super Bowl Village that they turned all down. They closed downtown Indianapolis for most of the driving. They closed down there, most of the streets. And so it was all walking. Tons of people, tons. And I really didn't want to go because I knew it was just going to be packed down there, but to me, it's like it was a once in a lifetime thing. Like, I would never go back to a Super Bowl Village, probably. And I think Indianapolis, within the next 10 years, is already on the list to host another one. I'll be in my 60s. I won't be going to it, but it was so fun. It was so fun. Everybody was so nice. Even the people in different jerseys than your own were so nice. There was hardly any violence. I don't think there was any violence other than, people being drunk and peed on the side of the road or something. I don't know. But there was no violence down there. Of course, there were police everywhere, but it was so much fun. It just felt like everybody was so happy, even though our team didn't play at all. We were just happy to have people there and excited to have all these football players because we're a football town. And in my family, in my immediate family, I am the only Colts fan. All the men in my family root for different teams, including the men that were born in Indiana. So I guess because we weren't playing, we hosted 2 different teams from different cities. that everybody was just having it. We had nobody to have beef with. You know what I mean? We were just happy to be there. And so it was great. It was probably the greatest, like, live event kind of thing that was that packed and that I've pretty much ever been to, I think. And to walk the village, you didn't have to pay to get in. They called it the village. I don't know if every place that does the Super Bowl, when they close down their downtowns to make it a big party, I don't know if every one of them make you pay, but you didn't have to pay to go down. You had to pay if you wanted to close. It went on for a full almost 2 weeks, like 10 days, kind of like the Olympics. I was living in Savannah when the Olympics came to Atlanta. There was no way I was going to the city of Atlanta for the Olympics. And y'all saw there, they did have some violence there. There were shootings and all kinds of things going on. But I didn't go down there. I wouldn't go down there. That's too crazy. But man, that was a fun time. Indiana also has, I don't know if your guys's states have this, but Indiana has multiple sister cities, but the sister cities are from overseas. So Indiana is, most of our sister cities are from Germany. So we've got a huge German population here. We have so every year at Christmas time we have the German village that goes on for about 3 weeks, and nothing but German food are served there. And then we have Oktoberfest, where it's nothing but German food and beer as well. And you could find some really good authentic German restaurants in just the Indianapolis area alone. And we have a huge population of Amish people, which are, you know, their heritage is German and Dutch and things like that, right? So that's kind of neat too. In fact, where I live, there are Amish people out there, and I love them. I love the Amish people, y'all. I love them. Oh my God, I'd be kicked out of their house in 5 minutes. I would try to be respectful. I would try to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start chores. I would be complaining in my brain about having to cook. I would tell them all, look, can you guys just cook and I'll do your dishes? I mean, they may go for that, but I heard that all the women have to be involved in everything. Oh, I'd have a terrible attitude problem, y'all. I would. Indianapolis also has their own football team that is like the juniors. I don't even know what it's called. They play right there. They're called Indy Fuel. We were all so fucking pissed off when they didn't. We felt, because we're the Indianapolis Colts, so we wanted them to name it like the Indy Foals or something that had to do with like a horse. We're the Colts. No. But then we also have to understand the reason why it's Indy Fuel is because Indianapolis is also the racing capital of the world. We host the Indianapolis 500 and the Brickyard 500 here, 400, Brickyard 400, Indianapolis 500. So we're also a big racing town as well. So that's why they said, no, our junior sports team is going to be Indianapolis Fuel. So I get it, but man, this is our mall area. When I tell you guys I have to go drop the thugs off or meet my kids halfway, This is halfway right here between my son's house and my house. And it's at the mall. It's an outdoor mall. And it's huge. And people from Indianapolis even come to this mall.
And this light is long. Someone calling you?
No. Oh.
So,
Huh.
Happier when I'm dropping them off. I'm always happy to see them for the first 2 hours. After that, I'm like, for the love of God. And then I just give them all of the devices, like my phone, Beefcake's phone, the iPads, the computers, the TV remotes. We give them everything because we done lost our minds by then, y'all. Those kids run my house, and I just kind of sit with my dogs in quiet and let them do whatever the hell they want to do. They've got so much energy, so much. And I used to have a lot of energy too. And then I found out from my son when I was over there the other night. Me and him were sitting at the table. We were talking about something, and I had mentioned something about YouTube. Oh, you guys were doing a live. Maggie and Liz were doing a live. So I kept checking into the live and stuff. And so I was showing him, because my family knows about this channel, you know, and they know that y'all are my only friends and the only people I talk to y'all more than I talk to them, and they give me hell. So he was like, what's going on? So I showed him Maggie and Liz talking, and then I had to tell him they didn't even know about the Nancy Guthrie case, so then we had to get on that. And then I had mentioned something about YouTube with the girls, and he said, my girls don't watch YouTube. And I just looked at number one grandchild standing next to me. I was like, oh, you don't watch YouTube? And she gets this look on her face like, oh my God, you're busting us out. And I mean, at that point, you know, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know. And then the other little thug walks by, and she's side-eyeing me like, Mammy, you never tell on us. And I was like, girls, come here. And they came to me. I was like, do your parents allow you to watch YouTube? And they said, no, ma'am. And I was like, then why did you ask me to watch YouTube? And they said, because you let us do everything. And I said, but if you knew you're not supposed to watch YouTube, didn't you think your daddy was going to get on to me? And they're like, no, because you're his mom. And I was like, well, yeah, you got a point there. I said, but you know what? You don't have to be dishonest. I said, just let me know. Hey, Mammy, we really want to watch YouTube, but our parents don't let us watch it. I said, you know I'm down. I'll be putting on stuff that I feel like is appropriate for you guys. And then I'll tell your parents that their rules don't apply to my rules and my rules don't apply to their rules. I raised them. They turned out pretty damn good. And so I had to tell my son, I just was like, just shut up, I'll handle it. And he's really good about that. And his wife, everybody's just looking over at them like they're going to get a whipping. And I was like, look here. I said, the next time you guys come to my house, you're not allowed to watch YouTube. You're not getting my phone. You're not getting my tablet. You're going to watch what I put on the TV, and that's your punishment. I said, and then after that, if you want to watch YouTube, you're going to have to let me know. I said, and then I won't let you sit there and scroll, because the younger one was like, Daddy, we watch YouTube because Mammy let us watch YouTube, but Amelia was the one scrolling. I was like, you're not allowed to scroll? Because I had them on YouTube Kids, right? But I just didn't have it on YouTube Kids. I had it on the baby shows like Cocomelon, and they hated it. But they know how to get to other stuff too. I mean, these are 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. They know. So I was like, look, I said, if they come to my house and they're being good and I've had enough of your kids, I'm putting them on freaking YouTube, dude. But I'll make sure I'm responsible. I will make sure it goes on the TV where we all have to sit around and watch it. And you guys can kill my brain even more and make me want to slice my wrists even more. So you see what happens, you guys? You see what happens? Them grandkids, they get me in trouble. Mammy did it. Mammy said we could. All right, y'all. I am really, really close to my daughter's house, so I am going, I think she's home. There is a vehicle here, and that one's hers. So I'm going to run in and say happy birthday to my big girl. Y'all, she's 41 today. Not supposed to be here right now. The Lord has done many, 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 if you don't know, many miracles in my daughter's life. My daughter is a diabetic. She has been since she was 9 years old. At the age of 30, can't remember right now, you guys, it's just been a lot. At the age of 31 or 32, my daughter, no, it was later than that, it was like 33 or 34. My daughter received a heart and a kidney transplant. And she's 41 today, you guys. And she has a 13-year-old daughter who she was never supposed to have, which probably sped up the damage to her heart and her kidney. But God's been good to her. And she's not 100%, and she never will be. But she's living, and she's never rejected any of her organs, never had a sign of rejection. And God has been good to my family. So I'm thankful that I'm able to come to her house on her birthday and not to a cemetery. This means a lot to me. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I will let C know you guys all said happy birthday to her once again. Maggie actually made her a blanket. She doesn't know it. That's why I was like, I gotta come over today. Maggie made her a blanket for her legs because she has bad neuropathy in her legs during the cold. And Maggie crocheted her a beautiful blanket to keep over her legs. And so I can't wait because she's, you know, she knows about all y'all. You guys have heard her on panel before. And so I can't wait till she sees what Maggie, that she got something all the way from the UK, y'all. I know I'm just gonna bawl my eyes out. But anyways, I'll take pictures. She's not gonna let me post them. But I will send Mags pictures of her if she allows me to. I'll take pictures of the blanket though. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being good to my sweet kids and my rotten grandkids. And just for listening to me talk about stupid shit in my life that's really fucking boring. And I know it. But thank you for making me feel like I'm a big deal. Love you guys. Y'all be good or be good at it. Bye.